10 players was asked to give our prediction on the Canelo Alvarez-Erislandy Lara fight. Or at least speak on it. Because we're not predicting fights yet, and loading fucks pockets. But we've been asked to drop a little food for thought before the fight. The last time we gave some food for thought, we said we'd explain the whole prediction thing and politics behind it. Because we're constantly asked to start doing predictions again. So we'll drop a video on it, along with some other fight talk we've been asked to speak on. Andre Ward, Garcia, judges and the Mayweather-Maidana rematch. We're hoping this shit's settled before the next big match. But what we will do though, is give some food for thought on this fight, without trying to repeat what everyone else has already said. But first we want to throw a 10 players holler out to John Granda, Keith Robinson, Sexalicious, Luciano Valdez, Southpaw, Ashley, and a big 10 players holler to YouTube. And we just want to let YouTube know that we don't want no stupid fucking subscribe to us video on our fucking channel. Like what the fuck is that supposed to be? Some form of fucking subscribe hypnosis to sheep? Well, we don't fuck with sheep. We roll with players who freely click what they want. We don't force shit on motherfuckers, so we'd appreciate if you'd put up an option for us to remove it. But for now, let's get to this fight. And let's make something clear from the start. These fighters aren't stupid. Both knows how the other fights. And neither fighter is gonna come out with some brand new unexpected fight plan. That rarely happens in the fight game. Fighters tend to do what they've always done. They can go to training camp and train like hell on incorporating a new technique. After 3-4 rounds they're back doing the same old shit. And they tend to do that even if their new plan is working out perfectly. Only adjusters can follow through an entire fight with a new game plan. And there's few adjusters in the fight game. Canelo Alvarez will come in attempting to incorporate a little something new in this fight.
Got a plan, you gotta switch it.
Yeah, right. Switch. Lara on the other hand doesn't have to do anything new. And he has a style that's not difficult to beat for a guy like Canelo. That's if Canelo has the mind to implement it. Lara can be caught on the right moving away. He also needs to come forward gangster style. Lara can't handle that shit. But even if his corner has figured it out, he can't revert back to the same old Canelo shit after a few rounds. Canelo's advantage in this fight is power, because if he can drop Lara like Angulo did, he can finish the job. But the thing fans need to realize about this fight is that comparing the Trout and Angulo fight they both had with these fighters is a mistake. Let's start with their fights against Angulo. The first thing to understand is this. Angulo isn't a video game. This isn't a situation where you press restart and get the same exact fighter doing the same exact shit. Sometimes when you beat a fighter, you beat that fighter with the help of his last opponent. Take the Cotto Margarito rematch. We don't want to take away from Cotto's win. But Manny helped him get the victory over Margarito a lot easier by destroying Margarito's orbital bone while smashing in his face the fight before. They stopped that fight due to the fight before, and damage to the eye pack destroyed. And Erislandy Lara may very well have destroyed Angulo for Canelo. Because if you think Angulo came into the ring a better fighter due to the Lara fight, you're wrong. Canelo faced an inferior Angulo. Because of the Lara fight, Lara actually helped Canelo win that fight. Now some fighters get better after certain big fights, while others get worse due to those fights. Trout's the other opponent both fighters faced, which both performances are compared. And since Lara faced Trout after Trout fought Canelo, the question is, was Lara facing an inferior Trout because Canelo damaged Trout? Or was he actually facing a superior Trout that got even better from the Canelo fight? Personally, we feel he was facing a superior Trout. But the one advantage Canelo does have is that he faced Mayweather. And contrary to what many claim, Lara and Mayweather fight nothing alike. Other than being on the move, they're polar opposites in the ring. Mayweather's a superior inside fighter. Lara's in far more danger in the pocket than Mayweather is. And you can bet the bank that Angulo wouldn't have dropped Mayweather twice. So what's Lara's advantage in this fight? We'll tell you like this. When it comes to team sports, there's certain teams that play up to the level of their competition. They can beat the best team in the league by a landslide one day, then struggle in an overtime game against the worst team in the league the next. And Lara's that type of fighter. He also has a very deceptive body. He has length in awkward areas, and fights tall. He uses range like he's over 6 feet when he's not. and he's a southpaw that possesses a 4-inch arm length advantage in this fight. He's usually not a volume puncher, so it looks like he's doing less than he is. But in reality, when he lands, he makes it count. Because his punch isn't a regular punch. Like the Black Mamba. It's a strike. And lethal ones that add up, and can turn to poison that starts seeping through the veins later on in the fight. It's not one punch knockout power, yet it's harder than the average punch. And they're sharp strikes. Like a pool stick hitting the cue ball for that break. Punches like that become more dangerous in a fight because they don't take you out early. Yet the damage accumulates. And can cause a fighter to crumble in the later rounds. He'll fight this fight keeping his distance, using the ring, and staying on the move. He's pumped for this fight, and coming in with the right mindset. And he has nothing to lose. I mean, the man had to invent a country to fight for. And claim he's fighting for Puerto Rico. And stray cats. And his pigeons. Oh yeah. He's the American dream too. He should just claim he's fighting for planet Earth. I mean, the guy has no pressure on him in this fight. He doesn't have to worry about failing anyone. It's not like he has to worry about his pigeons flying away because he lost. And many are saying he's coming in down 3 rounds before the fight even starts. At the same time, he already won the first round. Never let a man push you into his fight. He already did that by calling Canelo out at his press conference. Basically, Canelo has done everything Lara has planned out and knew he'd do to get the fight. The smart thing would have been for Canelo to tell Lara to go win another fight, and then I'll fight you. Lack of patience is a bad sign for a ring mind. Don't go to his world. Bring him to yours. His other advantage is that Canelo does have pressure. An entire country he doesn't want to let down on his shoulders. Yelling Canelo. Canelo. Canelo, Canelo, Canelo will win. Meanwhile, Lara's definitely showing no respect for Canelo while saying he owes him nothing. Because in our book, in this day and age, you're fighting a man on the big stage in a fight he didn't have to give you. So you owe him some respect for manning up and giving you the opportunity to let the world see you. You see, when Mayweather was asked about fighting Margarito when Margarito was chasing that fight, his response was, "I don't need Margarito. Margarito need me." Canelo could very well have said the same shit. And deserves respect for not. So what's Canelo's advantage in this fight? For one, he's up 2 rounds before the fight starts. It would be 3, but Lara gets 1 back for bullying him into this fight. His next advantage is power. Unfortunately, he has to actually hit the man. Who'll be on the move? His other advantage is being a good combination puncher up close. He's also faster than he gets credited. But he doesn't have the greatest legs. He moves forward like he's in quicksand. If you could put Angulo's legs from the Lara Angulo fight on Canelo, while keeping Canelo's upper body skills, he gives Lara the ultimate fight. And Canelo doesn't come forward with aggression. But he has the advantage of being a fighter that can knock you out with a jab. His other advantage is the judges and ref. If Lara hurts Canelo, Canelo will be given the chance to recover. Yet Lara won't allow it. But if Canelo hurts Lara, don't be shocked if the ref waves the fight off. I mean, do refs even fucking count to 10 these days? Because we virtually never see it. It's very easy for a ref to give you a big hug after taking a good shot, while waving his hand in the air. And don't think they won't do it early in a pay-per-view fight. Canelo fans will have no problem with it, and Canelo represents future money. But Canelo needs to stop Lara early. You see, when Angulo fought Lara, he came forward and applied pressure the entire fight. This fucked with Lara. When attempting the same thing against Canelo, Canelo's upper body strength didn't allow it. And he turned Angulo into a punching bag. Lara won't be fighting that kind of fight. And Canelo doesn't apply that kind of pressure. He likes you stationary so he can outbox you. But the serpent in Lara will choose to stay on the outside, striking Canelo during every opening throughout the fight. But Lara needs to seriously outclass, hurt, or stop Canelo to get this win. And stop sleeping on him. Trading with him up close is a mistake. Because if either fighter hurts the other, they both have the ability to end it. And Canelo's better than his haters think. But what really makes this fight interesting is Mayweather. Canelo winning this fight is good for Floyd. Because a Canelo win makes Floyd look even better. After all, he beat the man who beat the man. But Lara's win means there's a new crock in Mayweather's life. And it would be better to beat Lara through Canelo, rather than him having to actually face the Black Mamba himself. But this is the year of the upsets. And most fans think Lara winning will be an upset. The odds are in Canelo's favor. But 10 players says, Canelo winning, is the upset. Because Lara is the actual favorite.